afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Fred Njagi. I think I'll use this. My name is Fred Njagi. When Dr. Alfred Gitonga was called, I was very surprised because my actual name is Fred Gitonga. So I was wondering when I was bestowed the name of a doctor. But it's good to see that someone also has a similar name. So data insights on player behavior. So I'm a solutions architect, been in the technology space for a while, and through tech, through health tech, still doing the part of technology, and also gaming. My most recent tech space has been in gaming for the last about 7 years, architecting solutions that are used in the tech industry. So when you're looking at, today we're looking at player behavior and how these data insights into player behavior can help us enhance player experience and regulatory compliance. So when looking at player behavior, so behavior has a connotation of doing something and how you're doing it. And also we know that behavior will usually have impact on systems and thereby policies. Currently we do have data systems that are able to collect, they're able to analyze, we're able to detect patterns, and in this we're also able to predict possible patterns. This is actually the premise of AI and machine learning. And the value for this type of in terms of our current data systems, is that we're able to create smarter systems out of this data and products, and we're also able to have data-driven policies. So, looking at some of the key points, key data points that do help us understand player behavior. One of them is about the popular products, and I think this has been shared throughout the discussion from yesterday, that we have sports betting and soccer specifically being the most popular product within this gaming space. And also even for football, it's more of a specific leagues. So you have your Champions League, so basically the European leagues, which tend to be more popular than any other leagues. Then we have recently Crash Games with a relatively new entrant called Aviator. We do have online casino. And then another popular element is the live or in-game and micro-betting. So micro-betting being that within a particular event, you are able to place bets on smaller events. So then we have our popular channels as another data point, which is the mobile apps, mobile which is both apps and web. Well over 70% of all bets being placed via this channel, taking over from the traditional SMS and USSD. Another data point is the time of day or time of play. So we find that most punters will engage with the betting activity in the evening hours, maybe after 6 p.m. We have a very high activity on weekends and on match days. And this particular one, where it's usually an element of, I don't even call it within Kenya or it's widespread. We usually have very, very high activity just before kickoff of any event. Another thing that we note is on the average spend, which at most of the times will be at the minimum or near minimum per wager. Um, Continuing on to the data points, there's an increase in social betting. So people forming WhatsApp groups, Facebook, Telegram channels, for them to be able to pool, whether it is tips or thoughts, sometimes even pooling money. There is a rise of use of AI and analytics. I think this was mentioned. So you're trying to use prediction apps and AI-powered order calculators. Then there's also the rise of use of crypto. And so for all this, so these are just some of the data points that help us look at how we're able to understand our customer. And some of these data points are driven by some certain factors. Definitely affordable devices and internet access. So low-cost smartphones, extensive network, internet network, and cheaper data. So a collaboration of affordable smartphones and cheaper data definitely has driven the industry. People adopting mobile devices for this. Then this has also helped in having a product variety. So you have your virtuals, you have your esports, and most recently your fast games, especially online casino, and again Aviator pops up. Another element that has come up is what probably I'm calling a culture of instant gratification and short attention span, predominantly driven by the social media age. So when you look at TikTok or the short videos that we recently currently engage in, there is that culture that we want things quickly, we want quick results. And hence, elements like crash games have really become popular. I want to be able to just engage with this platform for 5 minutes and just get to know if I've won or lost. Or I need to, now for the live events and micro betting, you find that there is less patience to wait for an entire 90-minute game. I want to place a bet on the next foul in 5 minutes, or the next yellow card, or the next red card. Rise of skillful betting. There's a bit of people stopping, or rather people are trying to adapt use of data. So instead of just selecting, having your just selections randomly, you try and put some thought into it. So use of data analysis in placing of bets. And then also there's the use of AI and prediction tools. As the last, this other item on the responsible gambling, what has come out is that there is low awareness in terms of responsible gambling tools, the adaptation and use of the same. So some of the additional data points that would help, give us a better look at player behavior, but most of the times we don't. It's a bit hard to get this data, and especially within our African context, is the player lifetime value. So you want to understand, this guy joined my platform 5 years ago, and this is kind of how he's progressed. Betting motivations. So why does someone, okay, you've come to my platform, why are you motivated to be here? And then also the churn rates in terms of, okay, what are the dropout rates, and why are the reasons people are dropping out? So I think this would give a fuller picture if we had, if this was really more accessible. So how can we improve from trying to understand this player behavior? How then do we improve player experience? So these are just some of the points, not exhaustive by any means. So one, by building scalable player platforms, because we see players want, they want a fast-paced kind of engagement, and especially with the in-live betting. So building a scalable platform then is able to give them that nice, seamless experience, intuitive navigation for popular products, so that it's easy for them to engage with the platform. Localized content. So localized content helps deliver, especially if you're doing any messaging around responsible gambling, then you're able to communicate to any demographic that that might be using your platform. Real-time event insights. So this one helps most of the times when the players are doing live betting, they're able to make better choices, which is also combined with AI-powered recommendations. So improving the regulatory ecosystem. We can use these insights to have more flexible licensing models, and especially when we're having these new, we're having new games, new products coming every day. So when we have the data in terms of either the adoption or the usage of some of these products, it becomes, I think it becomes a good inference point for the regulators to be able to see how, if they're able to be flexible in terms of the licensing model. Then real-time monitoring dashboards combined with AI that are both visible to the regulator and the operator. So regulatory tech innovation sandboxes. I think there has been a rally call for a lot of collaboration between all the facets of this ecosystem. But this one, maybe going a step further where we have actual maybe workshops, focused work groups, particularly between the regulator and the operators, to be able to have innovation workshops. Promotion of self-exclusion tools. This has also been mentioned here, where we have the operators empowering the end user to be able to have either a total self-exclusion or cool-down windows where I'm able to take a break for the next 1 month, 2 months. And this is able to drive the adoption and use of responsible gambling. Then direct player engagement by regulators. So this is where you'd have maybe having a channel, and I think also it was mentioned, we would have a channel where the punters or the players are able to directly communicate with the regulators in terms of the feedback from the ecosystem, feedback from the industry, which would complement whatever other information they're getting directly from the operators. So in conclusion, understanding player behavior is not just a commercial advantage. So this is also so it's not just a paradigm for the business part, it's also a paradigm for the regulators. We always get a story of when, how, and why players bet, so that we're able to discover where are the gaps and where are the opportunities. So in terms of supporting and innovating, and in enhanced player experience and robust regulation indeed can coexist, powered by real-time insights, AI, and collaborative frameworks. Okay, thank you.